The cold void of space had never felt so heavy. Ambassador Kaldor of the Vrithian Collective floated inside his damaged escape pod, his four lungs struggling against the slow poison spreading through his silver-veined body. His ship had been destroyed, ambushed by the Hive raiders near the edge of the Orion Belt. Every distress signal had gone unanswered. Every signal, except one. A human vessel, USS Resolute, dropped out of warp with no hesitation. "Ambassador, this is Captain James Harlow. We're locking on your pod right now. Hang tight, sir." Kaldor had heard stories about humans. Unpredictable. Emotional. Dangerously stubborn. He had dismissed those stories as exaggeration. He was wrong. Inside the medical bay, Dr. Marcus Webb had never treated a Vrithian in his life. He had only read about them in xenobiology textbooks: 3 hearts, crystalline bone structure, atmospheric nitrogen dependency. But Marcus didn't panic. He adapted. Within minutes, he had converted an entire medical chamber into a low-oxygen, high-nitrogen environment. He synthesized a rough compound to slow the poison, not perfect, but enough. For 6 straight hours, he worked without sleep, without food, running on black coffee and sheer human determination. When Kaldor finally opened his amber eyes, Marcus was sitting beside him, exhausted, still in his oxygen mask. "You stayed?" Kaldor whispered in broken galactic standard. Marcus shrugged. "Couldn't exactly leave in the middle of the job." Kaldor stared at him for a long moment. "You are a strange species." Marcus smiled tiredly. "Yeah. We get that a lot." 3 months later, Kaldor stood before the Grand Council of the Vrithian Collective, the most powerful governing body in 7 star systems. He was fully recovered, standing tall in his ceremonial silver robes. "I invoke the Kethavar," he announced. The council chamber went absolutely silent. Kethavar, the sacred debt. An ancient Vrithian law. When a life is saved without condition, without payment, without political gain. The collective owes that being or their people an unconditional favor. One favor. Any favor. No limits. One elder leaned forward. "Ambassador, the savior is human?" "Yes." Murmurs erupted across the chamber. Humans were barely a Type 1.5 civilization. They had no colonies beyond their solar system. They had no seat on the Galactic Council. They were small. "Then we wait," Kaldor said calmly. "Until they ask." Back on Earth, Captain James Harlow received a quiet diplomatic message marked Priority Omega. He read it twice, then called Dr. Marcus Webb into his office. "Mark, you remember that Vrithian ambassador we pulled out?" Marcus nodded, pouring himself coffee. "The one I stayed up 6 hours for." "Yeah, vaguely." Harlow slid the message across the desk. Marcus read it. Then read it again. Then slowly set down his coffee. "The Vrithian Collective hereby acknowledges the sacred debt of Kethavar to Dr. Marcus Webb, citizen of Earth, and by extension, to all of humanity. One unconditional favor shall be granted. No request shall be refused. No scale shall be considered too great." Marcus looked up. "Does this mean what I think it means?" Harlow leaned back in his chair, a slow grin spreading across his face. "The most powerful empire in 7 star systems just told humanity, ask us anything." 6 weeks later, humanity's greatest minds gathered in Washington, D.C. scientists, diplomats, engineers, dreamers. They argued for days. Some wanted advanced weapons. Others wanted clean energy technology. Some wanted faster-than-light travel. In the end, it was Marcus who stood up. "Give us a seat," he said quietly. "On the Galactic Council. Not charity. Not protection. A real seat, equal vote, equal voice, equal standing." The room fell silent. Then, one by one, they agreed. When the Vrithian ambassador received the request, Kaldor smiled for the first time in years. Of course, he thought. Humans never ask for gold. They ask for the door. And on that day, humanity didn't just join the galaxy. Humanity arrived.